I'm doing all right. I really appreciate you, taking the time to chat with me today. I'm excited for our coffee talk. So how are you handling COVID and all the craziness?
Man, it's tough. I can tell you that. How do I turn this phone? Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah, it's been pretty tough. I can't go outside, so that's been kind
Yeah.
of getting to me. Um,
And are you in Asheville?
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte. Okay. Cool. I'm in Charlottesville.
Oh, okay, okay, cool, cool.
So down in North Carolina, is hiking allowed outside, or are you guys just encouraged not to go and do anything?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's like a little bit of both. Someone actually just wrote me a message about that and asked me that question. Um, they're telling you you can go outside, but they don't want anybody like section hiking or through hiking anything right now. So I guess day use is okay, but social distancing and all that stuff. So I don't know. It's just
Yeah, well, I know
weird.
here they they won't let a lot of the AT close to us is closed just because they don't have the manpower to really enforce traffic or make sure that traffic people are social distancing, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah. I've been looking. I think in like up in Asheville, they were. I want to say like towing people's cars from the trailheads and stuff like that.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, yeah, it's been kind of weird. So. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been looking on trying to find somewhere to go, and do like a section, where I don't have to go into town or something like that. Um, I think that'll be okay,
Yeah.
but it's kind of hard to find right now. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think the
Well,
smokers are close. Yeah.
to tell you a little bit about Wild Virginia and what we do, we're an environmental advocacy group. We started in the 80s. We're still a really small organization, but it started as a group that was protecting the national forest, the George Washington National Forest here. And they were just trying to prevent logging in the national forest. And then now we're a group that protects, water quality in Virginia, the forest in Virginia. So just trying to preserve public land. And one of the things we do to try to get people stoked on the advocacy work is, taking them out and hiking. And so we can't do that anymore, obviously, which, it really stinks. Such a big campaign or a big part of our organization was getting people outside and getting them on the trail and, fresh air and getting them again inspired to want to save these sort of natural and wild places. We can't do that anymore, which really sucks.
Yeah. Man, I feel for you. Yeah, it kind of puts everything at a halt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why we're trying to do everything online, but there's only so much you can really do. So I really do appreciate you taking the time to do this. I wanted
No
to
problem.
see, what got you into hiking in the first place.
Oh, it was just almost accidental. Um, just getting tired of working so many hours. I was an electrician, so I was doing like 60, 70 hours a week. I started traveling a little bit here and there. Getting out, I went to Puerto Rico. First time when I was like 30. First time ever on an airplane or at all, anything. So just
Wow.
wanted to start traveling. Yeah, I wanted to travel more a little bit. So when I got back from that trip and I went to LA for the weekend, my boss was like, "Hey man, you taking a lot of vacation days and stuff." I was like, "Well, hey man, I want to see stuff. I ain't got no kids, I want to see the world. I got dreams and stuff, man." He's like, "Well, sometimes your dreams aren't what's best for you." I'm like, "What?" So I put in my 2 week notice. Like 2 days later, after that, I couldn't. I was like, "Yeah, I got to figure out something else." And I think in between the time me doing that, I put on Facebook. I wonder if I can survive in the woods. And then my cousin commented, "Go hike the AT." It was just a random thought I had, and he said that, and I started looking it up, and that was in like maybe January 2017. And in April, I was hiking the AT. I had never hiked camped a day in my life, anything. Like I hadn't even slept in my tent until like 2 days before I hiked. I started the hike. I didn't even sleep in. I just went out and laid in it for a couple hours and came back in the house. Like so, it was a totally different experience. So yeah, it was just kind of like head first from a random Facebook post. Yeah.
Wow. Well, and you realize people like hardcore train to hike the AT, and you're just like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
I felt like kind of funny because I was like when I met people along the way and they was like, yeah, I've been planning on doing this for like 5 years. I'm like, and here I just come out of nowhere with the idea. I didn't even know anything about the AT months ago, a few
Yeah,
months before that. So it's like, yeah, it's different.
that's insane. Well, and so I've been following you. I first heard about you, I think I told you in my message through the Dogwood Alliance when they put out that article or blog post on you hiking the AT. But when I was reading the article, you were speaking a lot to sort of diversity on the trail, and making it more inclusive. So could you talk a little bit more about that and I guess your feelings and thoughts on it and maybe what people can do to be more inclusive on the trail and hiking and being outdoors?
Mm. Oh man, it's a lot of factors I guess that comes in the diversity topic. It's not just a one issue thing. I think education is one. People need to be educated more about the outdoors because, like, even around when I tell anybody, like, black or my family, friends, anything, the first question they're gonna ask me is about animals, snakes, bears. What about is it safe out there? What about racist people? That type of stuff. So just not
Yeah.
knowing what's out there, people have to like educate themselves, and I mean that's on the individual person as well as the outdoor community to be able to spread that message that it is safe. So I try to do my part in that. Um, yeah, financial is that's definitely an issue. A lot of people, I mean, this gear costs a lot of money. Just to be
Yeah.
flat out honest. Even if you're going to get your stuff from Walmart, the stuff that you can't skimp on, you can't really get from Walmart. You can go buy a $40 tent, but it's only gonna last like maybe one trip if it lasts that. You know what I mean? So, and then it's not going to perform well, so people probably won't even have a good time with it. So just being able to buy gear, and then people not knowing anything about the outdoors, they're not going to just go spend $500-$600 on gear either. That's just not going to
Sure.
happen. So um, being able to have some type of outlet for people to like get gear, some type of gear exchange or stuff like that. So I've been collecting gear for a few months now to try to get kids out. Just
Yeah.
things like that. Uh, Man, education, uh, cost, um, just the overall thinking in the outdoors, like, cause I mean, it's just majority. I mean, sometimes I had a lot of uncomfortable conversations out there, just like the microaggressions, that type of stuff. So I think that would be on, I think, white folks to like do
Yeah.
better at. Like sometimes you just gotta let people live, like and it don't have to be that. Like I find myself having that race conversation almost every day
Yeah.
when I'm just trying to chill at camp. Like man, I'm just trying to make my ramen, man. Like leave me alone, like.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just that simple. Like sometimes people just need to be left alone and let them go explore these spaces and then I don't know. So I mean that diversity thing is tough, man, because it's so many different layers to it, um, especially just to be trying to come off the top of the head with a solution. But yeah, it's yeah,
It's a hell of a question.
yeah.
So, how long did it take you to hike the AT?
Oh, 190 days, man, forever. Like yeah, I didn't think that was so long till I got home and I started like thinking about it. I was like, man, that's a really long time. But I was just having fun. I kind of fell in love with it. Then like a lot of 0 days, man, a lot of rainy days. Yeah, so and then like at a certain point, I was telling someone yesterday, it was just like I didn't want it to end. I didn't want to go home because I'm like, man, now I got to go back to them 60, 70 hours a week. I got to go back and look at this boss again or something. So like, yeah.
Yeah. So, did you have like a weird time acclimating back into society? so to speak.
Yeah, you don't watch my Instagram? I still have a hard time. I'm having the toughest time now. I still don't fit anymore. Like I don't, if I'm not out doing some type of hike somewhere in a foreign place where I don't know the surroundings and stuff like that, I feel way more comfortable doing stuff like that than I do being around just having a card game. I'm not going bowling with nobody. Like people always invite me to go places. Oh, you want to go here? And I'm like, yeah, we can go. Sure. In my head, I'm like, you'll never see me there because I don't fit in anymore to that type of. I'm gonna be really uncomfortable. Like I'm gonna be physically uncomfortable there. Like so, I just don't even put myself in those places. Like so, yeah, I still haven't acclimated. I'm always looking for another place so I can go and adventure. Like that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not a mall rat then.
No, not at all. The last time I went to the mall with my friend, right after I came home from the AT, I went to the mall with him to get some shoes for his kids or something. I was in there like I was physically getting sick to my stomach. I'm like, because I could just see all the people coming in there, and it was like a Saturday morning, and everybody was coming there lining up to get some Jordans, and I'm like, this is
Oh
crazy, man.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Culture shock.
yeah.
So do you have a favorite hike anywhere that you've done?
Uh, the Camino del Norte. I did that last summer. The most beautiful place I ever been in my life. Like every day, just like view after view after view after view. It was like, yeah, you just walking through coastal towns. They're these old, like well built, older cities and stuff. Like, man, it's just beautiful. Food is beautiful. I mean, the food is delicious. Views are
Mm,
beautiful. Thing was good.
yeah, everything's good. Um, so do you have any hikes coming up, so long as I don't know, with the pandemic, what the hell is going to happen? But do you have any hikes that you're planning to do or that you haven't done and you really do want to adventure on?
Yeah, well, I got my PCT permit, fingers crossed for this year. Headed southbound. July
Okay.
31st was my start date, so we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's definitely was on the list this year. I want to try to definitely do the Triple Crown at some point. Maybe Te I think I'm pronouncing that right. The TA, whatever, the New Zealand one. I would love to do that. And Patagonia. It's not, man. I
Yeah.
don't know. I just want to hike. Like anywhere, I'm for any long distance hike. I'm all for it. Anywhere, yeah.
Yeah.
Or bike ride or whatever. I've been also looking into like trying to get a boat and like maybe ride from Florida to the Bahamas. So I've been looking into that too.
Okay.
Which I don't have no boating expertise or anything like that. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of research, but I have been watching a lot of YouTube videos, so I'm halfway there, you know.
Oh, good God. What about like the weather and storms and that's
But
not scary to you?
kinda. I've been watching like a bunch of like people getting stuck at sea for like 2 or 3 months and stuff. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But I think if I just want to do like a day trip or something, like if I can get from Florida to the Bahamas in the same day or the Caribbean somewhere down there, just like a deserted island and camp a few days, and then when I see some good weather, I head back out and head back to the States. I think that I
Yeah.
want to try that. Do some like I like them catch, cook, and clean videos, catch, clean, and cook videos. I watch those a lot, so I want to go down there and do some of that, some spear fishing or something. I just like trying new stuff, man. That's all.
Yeah. So I've I've never, through hiked the AT or anything, but I have read a couple of things like hiking through Virginia takes for some folks a ton of time, and so they call it the Virginia Blues. Is that a thing, or did you enjoy Virginia, or what about Virginia?
Um, I was actually looking at the maps yesterday, trying to find somewhere to
Yeah.
hike, and I went back through Virginia because when I look on the AT for somewhere to hike, I kind of never look in Virginia because I hated Virginia. But then I was looking yesterday, and I was like, you know what? Southern part of it wasn't so bad. I didn't really enjoy Shenandoah. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful area, but it's a lot of tourists and stuff, and there's a lot of road crossings, and it's like a ton of
Absolutely.
bears. And the bears are like acclimated to people because people have been out there feeding them and leaving all this food and stuff. So I didn't enjoy that part of it. And a couple parts of Virginia I didn't enjoy, but for the most part it was good. But I did have the Virginia blues because you're walking through it for like 500 something miles, and it's like, man, I'm just tired of this state. You get sick
Yeah.
of it after a while. It's like you walking all across. You want to feel like you're putting the state behind you, so you can feel like a milestone. You know what I mean? And stay motivated. And it was hot when I came through there, so you just like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm getting flashbacks of it now. But yeah, it's some beautiful parts of it for sure. Like Dismal Falls and all that area right there is really, really beautiful. But so yeah,
Yeah.
y'all got some parts that I definitely enjoy.
Yeah, when I go hiking, I totally agree with you. I stay away from Shenandoah. It is very touristy, and I hike alone with my dog. That's just where I don't like to hike with people because they like to yap, and that's not what I'm trying to do when I'm trying to get out in the woods. But I usually I'll go to the AT and hike Humpback Rock, and then that I don't think that's technically on the AT, but the AT crosses over it. So I'll do that, or I'll stay to the national forest because it's so big and nobody really likes to venture out there, which is nice.
Yeah, that's
So
better. I think off the beaten path, that's good.
yeah, no, that's what I prefer. I think that's what a lot of hikers, people who are avid hikers or, spend their weekends or whatever free time that they can outside, they probably like to do it alone.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that.
So like, have you gotten into, just because, the Dogwood Alliance did do that post on you, have you gotten into, like the environmental, uh, part, because hikers, I guess it's a stereotype or assumption that I shouldn't make, but I feel like a lot of
Mm.
hikers that go out and, experience these places, they want to also protect them. So have you gotten into any of that down in North Carolina?
Well, I'm with the Granite Gear groundskeepers crew this year, so I've been picking up trash. I went to Puerto Rico earlier this year. I picked up like 10 15 pounds of trash down there. Just try to
Mm.
do it wherever I go. I picked up like 10 15 out in Oregon earlier this year. So on that side, yeah. And I just don't know much about like the opportunities or what I can do or how I can help or anything like that. Like, and then I'll be just trying to get through like every regular everyday life too. So I'm not against it. If anybody has something my way, I'm always down to help out or whatever I can do. But I don't know if I can start an organization myself, like, and have it up and
Yeah.
running. Like I just opened up a WordPress account yesterday to try to finally create me a website after like years, you know what I mean? And I'm dreading the fact of that, so I don't think I could have a nonprofit up and running solo by myself. I don't.
The whole plastic thing. It was a psychosis almost that I got into with like the
Yeah,
plastic bags, and I started making my own toothpaste, like really ridiculous hippie stuff. But no, I mean, trash. Obviously, we have a problem. Consumers have a huge problem with needing thing or wanting things that they don't necessarily need. So that's pretty cool. You could start a nonprofit just picking up trash.
it's true. I was trying to do like a flash mob, like where we just like descend on the area and pick up a bunch of trash and then like dip out. I thought it was gonna be cool, but then all like the COVID-19 thing hit.
Yeah.
I was partnering with what's the guys from Trash Tag hashtag Trash Tag Project or something like that.
Huh.
So I was partnering with them, but we just haven't had a chance to get out and do anything. I've been scared to actually go pick up trash now. I'm like, I'm not picking up no trash right now.
No,
No, you know,
absolutely.
so kind of stuck. Everybody's just like stuck. The world is actually stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, hey, it's not forever. We'll see what, each state does here in the next couple months, but I'm trying to stay positive.
for sure, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. I'm picking up hobbies. I'm gardening now. I'm doing a lot.
I saw that. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're doing a lot. Got to stay busy, do something.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are you growing?
Oh, I have three different tomatoes. I have cherry tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, and the beefsteak, and then I have broccoli, cabbage, um, bell peppers, habanero peppers, cucumbers, zucchinis, squash, and something else. Uh, I forget something else. Like a couple more things, and a
Very
bunch of
cool.
herbs and stuff. Yeah, we got a bunch of like herbs, sage, and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
been
awesome. I
good.
feel like a lot of people are, getting more into that now. So that's the silver lining with COVID. I mean, people aren't
Hmm.
driving everywhere. They're, staying home, getting to do, hobbies and crafts and whatever, growing food, growing their own food, which they wouldn't necessarily do before.
True indeed.
Yeah.
This is true.
Well, hey, that's all, those are all the questions I had, but I really appreciate you, taking the time to do this.
Oh, no problem at all. I appreciate you having me on. I I,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.